Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Bloudam and Extreme Fishing.
Oh, there we go, Johan. Welcome, guys. And before we start, we've got our sugar bit coffee again. And this is a question, like I always say, we get this a lot in the comment section. Where is the shop? The shop is in George in the Garden Route. But if you want to, you can phone them. They'll even courier all the stuff to them, to you. Wherever you are, we'll make sure that you get your stuff. Sugarbird right next door in New York, right next to Romans, down in York Street in George. So yes, welcome to another episode. This is where me and Johan dissect a little bit what was going on the previous week, what the weather's going to be for the coming week, what fish to target, what bait to use, and then we'll also have a little bit of a tackle talk on every episode. Okay, Johan, so firstly, good fishing last week.
Yeah, it was. Rivers were busy.
Rivers were extremely busy.
The seas were busy. The sun is shining.
No, it's summer. And you can see there's a little bit more of a vibe.
Touch wood, not jinxing it, but I see this week it's beautiful weather.
It's beautiful weather, and a lot of the matrics. We went the other day. We went to test at Rockaway, Kuma Rockaway, for the first time, and then there was some lovely ladies on the beach. And you can see that the younger generation, they're finishing up with exams. The students are coming back to town. You can definitely see there's a little bit more of a vibe on the beach. I was on the beach yesterday afternoon, and you can see there wasn't parking in Adels Bay like normally, but you can see that people are definitely starting to get out a little bit more. You can see when you're going to the estuaries, there's a couple of headlamps. Nighttime, there's a couple of headlamps on the banks, a couple of headlamps. You can see bait collecting at night time. You can see a couple of guys with their headlamps on the beaches collecting bait. So there's definitely the summer's definitely here.
Another thing on bait collection, now that you bring it up, it's actually very interesting. I get this question a lot. Can I sell my bait to anglers with my bait license? The answer is no. You cannot. You cannot sell your red bait, even though you are legal to take it out yourself, a kilo.
2 kilos, I think.
2 kilos?
Oh, no,
No, it's a kilo on red bait, 2 kilos on red bait. You're allowed 2 ockies.
2 octopus, yes.
2 octopus, and you're allowed to take out mussels.
Yes.
And so, but the answer to the question stays no.
No bait selling.
Take out your license, get your own bait, then buy it from someone else. It's actually what happens is that the guys collecting that's quite easy for them is they're actually killing that area off.
Yes, and especially the lintworms.
Yeah.
The diggers for the lintworms, they rip that piece apart where there's prawns and there's a lot more bait, and they go in with shovels and forks,
and it takes long.
And it breaks up that whole system. So so there's a lot of stuff that can be said about bait, selling bait and buying bait from people, but they basically find a little hotspot where they can easily find bait, and then they just take apart that spot. They destroy that part for that bait. So when you are bait collecting, try and not always go to the same spot, because one day you're going to get to that same spot and there's not going to be any bait left there. So try and move around a little bit, protect the areas, especially when you're going red crab, and when you're collecting prawns, put the ones with eggs and soft shells, put those ones back. Especially the prawns, there's thousands and thousands of eggs on those prawns, and
especially now.
And if you keep on taking the prawns with the eggs on it, one day you're not going to find any bait there.
And that's the thing. Now the guys will ask, but you guys are selling bait in the shops. Well, you will see that the bait that gets sold in the shop aren't the same that you can collect by yourself.
No.
So the thing is with that is the guys at the factories that are selling the sardines, the choka, and all those other baits that are allowed, it's a hell of a lot of licenses they have to obtain to be able to sell those baits to us. So it's not a cheap thing, and we are not selling like red crab. Ockies you do get, red bait you do get.
But the ockies you get is deep sea.
Yeah.
It's from the those cages.
Yeah.
It's the cage. It's not the ones that you collect on the beach on the rocks.
Yeah.
And those are actually the better ones.
Yeah.
Those ones, for some reason, the fish tend to like those ones a little bit more.
It's thinner legs, more flavor. Usually in something that is smaller, the flavor is more. For instance, small chokkers. Everybody wants the big chokkers. Yeah, they work lekker. And they've got their place in the bait making side where the bigger chokkers got the thicker meat. And guys like that thicker meat and it works. But it's the same as an okkie. The bigger the okkie, the thicker the leg. But the flavor on that okkie, that thick piece, it's much less. Where on, let's say for instance, a chokka, a small chokka, it's usually the wife or the lady or whatever you want to call it.
The female.
The female. And it's small, but it's got a lot of flavor in it. Even though that skin flesh of it is thin, it's got a lot of flavor.
Okay, interesting, very interesting. I forgot to mention a couple of weeks back, the outdoor man, good friends of ours, Arnold and his son Johnny.
Yes.
And also they love coming into the shop and the stories that Tauti it's always interesting talking to Tauti.
Yeah, he's got interesting stories.
And he's a very knowledgeable.
What happened to our English this morning?
He's a very intelligent guy. Let's call it intelligent guy. Fisherman. When it comes to estuary fishing, he does other fishing as well. But when it comes to estuary fishing, he really is on top of his game. So. Go check out his channel, The Outdoor Man. A couple of weeks back, they caught a cob that they measured 187 centimeters.
Yes.
So there's a lot of debates and disputes about the weight of the fish.
Yeah.
But something that you cannot debate is the length.
Yeah.
You can't debate the length. So whatever the Wikifish or your fish calculator says, that's debatable.
Yeah. Because
yes, you do get in this is something we've discussed as well. If you look at let's say grade 7 under 13-year-olds, if you look at a 13-year-old class, it's not to say that just because that fish is that age or a certain person is that length, they all weigh exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because you get female, you get male, you get thin, you get a little bit more, I don't want to say fat, but yes, you get meatier or big boned, and then you get skinnier. So it all depends on the fish genes, I can almost say, of what the weight's going to be. So that's something that I have against these calculators, because sometimes you get a short stocky fish that will actually weigh a lot more than a long skinny fish. And especially in the cobs, you get those long skinny slim fish, and then you get those nice bulky fish.
But that's the price we have to pay on the release of fish, you know.
But I mean,
they can't have a chart on every thick thin fish.
No.
So you have your estimate. You sometimes the fish are bigger than what the calculator says. Sometimes you score on the calculator where the fish isn't actually that big.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
But I went out, so that was absolutely amazing catch, 1.87 centimeters. Go check out that video on their channel. They've got a complete video of how the bait they used and everything on and the release, the most important part, and the release of that fish. It was really nice to see that fish swim away. And then I went out on, and you spoke about the estuaries. Last week we went out and you caught that nice grunter of 61.
What did you say?
I said it. You caught that nice grunter of 61.5.
Yes.
But then I went out again on Thursday and we caught 8 grunters. The 4 smaller ones were between 50 and 55 centimeters. That video is also going to come out soon. And then we managed to land a couple of buttes, 62, 65, 68 and 74 centimeters.
Yes.
So the 74 centimeter, the fork length on that one was 69. So if I convert that on the wiki calculator, on the wiki fish calculator, that's a 4.25 kilogram fish. And I can tell you, I've caught grunters of up to 6 kilograms. There's no way that fish weighed over 4 kilograms. There's just no ways. That was 3.7, 3.8 max.
Yeah.
So that's what I have against the calculator.
Yeah.
But you get the opportunity to put the fish back if you do it that way.
And then on another day you will get a big fish that you know is maybe 6 or 7 kilos, but the calculator is going to tell you it's a 4 kilo fish. So that's a win-lose situation.
So yeah, that watch out for that episode coming out. Me and Pieter Gous went out and we caught some really nice grunters. So and then yeah guys, there's actually a lot happening while we're talking about that. If you want to book your charter for December, bronzies, spearfishing, We're gonna do, maybe we'll see if we can book a spearfishing course. I am a paddy free diving instructor, so we might put in a Friday and a Saturday course. The course will include a guided spearfishing trip.
Yes.
To go out spearfishing if the conditions are right, estuary fishing, kayak fishing, and then I've hooked up with Tian Willemse. His boat's name is Claranay, and we are doing Bloudam adventures. We're tuna fishing now in Cape Town.
Okay.
So we're going to be hooking up with him. So if you are interested in a tuna fishing trip,
Yes.
we're going to go. If we get a couple of guys together, we jump in a bakkie and we drive and we go tuna fishing. And then also Claranay, the boat's name's Claranay. The boat is capable of taking 10 guys fishing. We are going to do some fishing. He's bringing down his boat to Stilbaai for December. So we're going to be, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me for deep sea charters on Bloudam Adventures. Unfortunately, the Gecko is not suited for deep sea charters.
Yes.
But now you can go on a Bloudam adventure with me, and we're going to be doing Goudits and Stilbaai over December deep sea charters.
Okay.
So that's going to be like a trip if you want to do that with us. Johan, looking at this week, you said weather's looking good.
Weather's looking good.
Weather's
and the
looking good.
sea-
Barometric air pressure is looking very nice.
Yeah, it's stabilizing, and the sea is also stabilizing. I haven't watched it this morning again, but
It's starting to drop down, and it's stabilizing during the week as well. And it's almost that type of swell where you can target crackers, you can target cob. The bronzies are also starting to show up a little bit.
We know what the guys really want. They get tired for it, but then this time of year they're starting to look out for them again.
Yeah,
and so on.
the bronzies.
Yeah.
So the bronzies definitely something.
I mean,
to,
if we like we're sitting here, there's a few bronzy catches in the shop at the moment. Yeah, just waiting for us to.
Yeah, Renko. Renko's watching us here. Renko's laughing at us, but he's just waiting for that perfect conditions for the bronzies
He wants to show us that big raggy he caught over the weekend on an amazing rod that we custom built for him.
Okay, so let's put up a photo here of Renko's raggy that he caught over the weekend. A really nice raggy that he caught.
Fish. That thing you can call fat.
So so there's definitely a couple of sharks also in the water at the moment.
Yeah.
But today we are going to be talking about. We haven't spoken or showed a lot of assassin gear.
No.
So we decided we're giving all the brands a little bit of airtime. So I've got 3 assassin rods with me, and if you hear the name assassin, normally you start putting your wallet away.
Yeah, usually. It is not expensive brand. The only thing about assassin is, and why people think it's expensive, is because through the years, it's like a Toyota bakkie. Through the years, a lot of guys have saved up to buy the top-notch rod from them, and then it is top class rods. I mean, these guys. I've spoken to Jonathan Knight. He's like a boss there.
Okay.
If you sit and chat with that guy, and I mean, for me, that I build rods for a living, I understand what he's talking about. So the technology and stuff they put into their rods, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then it's not about we saw this rod, we saw this company doing this rod, we're gonna copy them. It's everything on their rods is they test out themselves.
They're all professional anglers. They know what they're doing, and they know what they
I
want.
won't say they're professional anglers. I think I can take 1 or 2 of them.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's start off with the first one, and I know at the trade show they were very excited about this one.
About the Cop Master.
The Cop Master.
Yes.
Spinning rod.
Yes.
So this is more your drop shot, clone lures, that type of thing. Your rapalas that you want to throw in the surf for the cops.
So
comes in at a reasonable price.
a 1,999. Very nice price. And then with that said, with the Assassin, for the month of November, you've got a golden ticket opportunity where if you buy any Assassin rod, excluding the Slayer Rangers, you can get a golden ticket. And what that gives you is it gives you an entry into a 90,000 rand pot. Winning, so it's going to be divided through a couple of guys.
Okay.
You can buy shorts, fishing shorts at 50%. You can buy a fishing hoodie at 50%, and then the new nano light fishing hoodie from them at 50%, and then a roll of ultra tough braid JDB ultra tough braid all at 50%.
That's really nice.
And then we've got another thing that is not a golden ticket opportunity. It's something we just thought we're going to do. So we got a lot of assassin shirts that is available. So what happens with them is if you buy any assassin rod, you will get a shirt.
For free?
For free.
Any assassin rod? Apart from the Slayer, the boat rod?
Yeah, no. The Slayers come in the surf rods and the
Boat rods.
river rods. But we...
Okay, I'm gonna buy a Assassin Slayer boat rod just now and then get my free hoodie.
And he's gonna put... No, you're not getting a hoodie, you're getting a t-shirt.
A t-shirt, a free t-shirt, and I'm getting a free Assassin t-shirt.
Yes.
The Cop Master, this one is the 11 foot.
Yes.
Comes in a 1 to 4 ounce.
Yeah.
Does it come in different sizes, like a 12 foot or so? Two sizes.
It comes in two sizes at the moment. It comes in a 11 and a 12 foot,
Okay.
both 1 to 4 ounces.
Both extra heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
And the guys that I sold these to, they're quite regulars. They're super happy with them.
How does this compare to, what is the other Assassin spinning rod?
The Amir.
No, I've got a different one. It's not
Spintic.
Spintic. How does this one compare to the Spintic?
This is the model above the Spintic.
Okay.
So it's got the Fuji guides on it.
Did they replace the Spintic with this one, or you still get the Spintic?
Yeah, you'll still get the
Spintic.
Spintic.
Still available. Okay.
So just to give you guys a short on the Assassin things, that all their rods are going through, like we can almost say, a remodeling. So they're bringing in a system with their rods that I love because it makes it much easier for everybody to understand. So if we take now these two rods, jumping to them, you will see that this is a Bluefish XT. It's the new Bluefish. It's a number 5. If you take this Evo, it's the new Assassin Evo. It's got the number 7 on it.
Okay.
So what this means is when you pick up any Assassin rod now, except the spinning rods, it's not brought in there.
Okay.
If you pick up any of their surf rods now, and it's got a number on it, that's literally the number in the middle. It's the preferred weight to cost with that thing. So if you've got a 7, you've got a 6 to 8.
Oh,
You've got
okay.
If you've got a 5, you've
Then
got
it's a 4 to 6. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you can say it's a Bluefish 3, then it will be your 2 to 4 ounce.
Yes.
Okay,
So
that makes a lot of sense.
I must say, I have picked up a lot of guys that has come to where they understand this. So now they come into the shop and they say they want the Bluefish 3. Just for instance, they want the Bluefish 3, and then it won't be 3, the 4. Now you're sitting to yourself and you're thinking, what the hell is this? Because they're still talking about the older models.
Oh.
It's not on the new models yet, but it is. We will actually understand when someone says we want the Evo 7. We know exactly what this guy wants.
That makes sense.
And it works. Yes.
Okay, so we've got the Bluefish.
Yes, the new one.
The new one, and it is the Bluefish 5, you said?
No, it's the Bluefish XT.
Okay, so it doesn't come. Okay, but it still says 5 there.
Yeah, it's a 5, but you get others as well.
Okay.
That's a 14-foot 5. Then you get the 14.6. You get the 15.6, 15-foot 6.
Okay.
That's a 5 to 7.
So price, you're looking at 3,200 on this one, 3,199. This is the 4 to 6.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a
14-foot rod.
14-foot rod, 4 to 6. Very nice rod, cop fishing, and your younger sharks. Very nice rod, and you spoke about why the Assassins are good. I mean, we can't say that Assassin is better than your Kumas or the Pens or but a lot of anglers prefer your Assassin. It is South African made.
It is a South African company.
Yes.
Yes. Back in the day, everything was made South African.
Okay. But
from the blank to not the guides, everything is
brought in and put together.
But back in the day when they started off, the blanks were also made in South Africa by a company called Blue Marlin.
Oh yeah, the old Blue Marlin rods.
Yeah. So Blue Marlin back in the day was a company that was the leaders in blank making.
Yes.
They had their own rods and ranges, but the old man back in the day, he was the one that designed the spigots where the rods go in and all that stuff.
And I remember 15 years back, most of the guys were fishing one piece, and you would come in and you would buy your blank
Yes.
and then you
Oh,
guys
that's
would
lucky
put on a
days.
grip and a winch, and you can determine where you wanted your winch
Yeah.
and what type of grip you want,
What colours,
and what
binding.
colors, and then what type of eyes you want. There's not a lot of guys that actually that was an art.
Yeah.
The rod building was an art, and I know you still do it when guys bring in the old blanks,
Yeah.
but you don't get those blanks nowadays.
No.
It's just not.
You do get blanks.
You do, but
it's crazy expensive. It's all imported.
and it's a lot of time and effort. It actually costs a lot of money for you to build the rod.
Yeah, but I spoke to somebody the other day about blanks as well. I see some of the guys are importing their own blanks again. The pain about that is, let's say this rod, for instance. Everybody knows this rod. Everybody knows this is a good quality rod. But now I come and I bring in my own blank from China, because that is where it's going to come from. Now I bring in 10 of them. I don't know this rod. I just got a company in China that built this rod for me. I start building the rod. Now, rod building, it's got more science to it than anybody knows. This guides must be placed on the correct area.
The weight.
Yeah.
Of the weight of the rod.
Mainly not the weight, but the bend of that
Yeah,
rod.
yeah.
If you're gonna,
There's a lot of
if
technical
If
stuff.
that rod's gonna bend and it's got flat spots, now flat spots are seeable when you're fishing with it, like the Estuary we had the other day. I told you that thing's got a nice bend.
Yeah.
It's because it's got no flat spot on that rod. Now, if it hits a flat spot, that's a spot where it's gonna break. Now, let's say for instance, this blank, it's not tested yet, and that thing snaps. You break the midsection or the tip section. Where's the after sale gonna be? Are that guy gonna be able to replace your mid or your tip? Now, with these guys, if there's a factory fault on it, I must say they are the guys with. I won't say easier. We still go through a process when we got that. We had one the other day where a tip broke on a stupid area, and it came down to how the fish was taken off.
Oh,
that
yeah.
rod. So a normal bend like that is fine. If your rod is like this in your sand pen, you're gonna take off your fish now. It's an easy break if that fish just makes a jump like that. This, let's say for instance, I'm not 100% sure on the weight of this, but let's say it's got a 15 kilo deadlift or more. It can take 15 kilograms. It can deadlift from the ground up on the correct
On an
bend.
angle.
Yes, on a straight up angle.
No,
That
5
40,
kilograms.
20, not even 1.2.
No, it's gonna break it.
It's gonna break.
And we saw that video on the internet, actually of Renko.
Yeah.
We saw that video on TikTok of the guy high sticking
Yes.
the shark when he was close to the rocks, and that tip snap.
Yeah, it's because that
It
rod
was high sticking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can maybe put that video in here of that high stick when the rod snapped.
And then you're gonna have a photo of Rinku that's now a custom molded rod. That is I forgot the blank's name. It's quite expensive. It's like almost 7,000 rand for that blank now. It's a Cape Cod. But yeah, super expensive. Blank 3 to 10 ounce.
Okay.
Custom built for him, and he actually sent me a photo of that thing bending. It looks like a pool noodle.
Really?
Because it bends from the tip to the hands.
Okay, so diving into the Evo, this is the Evo 7. The price on this one, Johan, is I know this is like top end.
Yeah.
So
not
7.
top end.
No, but
underneath.
7,000 plus 7,749.
Yeah.
So why, Johan, is this rod so much more expensive than your bluefish? What is the difference? I know you guys know the technical, because sometimes the guy comes in and he buys a 7,000 rand because he's got the bucks, but he doesn't even know what he's buying.
Yeah.
So or you've got a budget and you want to save up, but now eventually you just buy the bluefish because you can't afford the Evo.
Yes.
Why is the Evo so expensive? What is the technology? What is the difference between a bluefish and an Evo?
It's mainly gonna come down to the blanks again.
Okay.
So the blank technology that they use on the Evos against the bluefishes are very different.
Different carbon, different. What is the
mixtures?
The mixtures. Okay.
So the mixtures they use, I know I keep on jumping back, but this one I can't miss it. On the Rockaway, for instance.
We've got the 3060.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a 36 ton.
Okay.
So what happens there is the higher the tons, the stiffer the tip. So you now got a 36 ton base section and midsection. I'm not sure if the midsection is as well. But then the tip comes and it's a 30 ton,
Okay.
making it softer.
Yes.
Now the same with these rods, it's not a mixed brand. I have spoken to them before. They don't mix their blanks. If this thing would say it's a 36 ton, it's a 36 ton.
Okay.
If it's a 40 ton, but again with the tonnage, it's very technical because I've spoken to them, and on ton like 40 ton, 45 ton, then you're going into military grade graphite. With military grade graphite, you should actually have a certificate certifying
That it
graph.
is that grade.
Yes.
Okay.
If they don't have it,
Then it doesn't mean that.
I don't want to say anybody bad now at the moment, but that's what I heard from the guys. And I mean, Sean Peacock and those guys, they have flown to China. They go themselves to the factories overseas, and they go tell them what we want on our rock.
Okay.
It's not a phone call. It's not an email. It's they literally go sit.
Mm.
It's not like they can speak Chinese.
Okay, guys, I hope that gives you a little bit better idea of what you are buying. And like I say, we are not promoting any rod above any other rod.
No.
It's like a Toyota and a Ford. You can
We
drive
know Ford
whatever.
is
We can
better.
drive whatever you want to drive. And yeah, guys, we also have another raffle running. We are going to put up a Pen Fierce 5000.
4.
No, you just
no,
said
3.
5. No, you just said 5,000.
No. So
Check out the raffle
my
details.
friend here, it's the Pen Fierce 5000, the Model 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Pen Fierce 3 with a
Yes.
5,000 spool. That's going to be
Yes.
up for raffle. So if you want to take part in the raffle, tickets are $100. We're going to put out 50 tickets. Here's my number. There's my number. We keep on saying here's the number, but the number shows up
Is it
there in the
actually
corner.
there?
It's there in the corner that the
That-
number shows up.
that-
There we go. There's the number. Send me a WhatsApp if you want to take part in the raffle. We've got every Monday morning we've got a raffle that we run. And yeah, guys, get a line in the water. It's December, it's summer. Like we said, estuaries are on fire. The guys caught a couple of nice fish all the way from Neisner to Witstrand. There was fish
And-
coming out. The estuaries was on fire. So yeah, and then come into the store. It's some nice Black Friday specials. Go and like the Facebook page, Extreme Fishing's Facebook page. We're putting up a lot of specials and stuff on there.
Yeah,
and then subscribe
especially from this week.
subscribe to the Bloudam channel. See you guys in the next episode.
Moenie so kyk nie. Gaan net sit toe en vang die vis. Want ons praat net oor visvang en dit is so lekker.